welcome to the 2018 BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championship here at Snetterton for Group B. It's going to be a really interesting start to this weekend because we've got Sam Gendy on the front of the grid after a cracking qualifying session that puts him at the front of Group B.
Well, that was a couple of minutes ago. They are now back from their formation lap. Sam Gendy and Adrian Burge, as we said, on the front row of the grid. Anthony Hutchins and Ivan Leary on the second. Jack Moody and Oliver Graham on the third row from Clive Chisnell and Jake Stiles. Then we have Oliver Robinson and Callum Greatrex rounding out the top 10 from Bryn Griffiths and Nick Ledoyen. Then it's Bill Taylor and Graham Rumsey, Alan Hawkins and Bruce Robinson, Charles Muggleston, Richard Wotton, and then Matthew Pollard and Dale Whiteman from David Martin, Luke Souch, William Hayden and Richard Bartlett. 24 cars all battling for riches to get there first. It's going to be a really interesting trio of races with Harry Dean in there in 25th position as well, making up the numbers at the back of the grid. But do not fear, he will be charging his way through if he can possibly help it. He will not be staying in 25th for long. So let's watch for the lights to go out and then they will charge forward for the first corner here at Snetterton. Lights on. Let's race at Snetterton. Cracking start from Gendy. It looks as though it's a beautiful start from Anthony Hutchins as well as they charge their way forward. Ivan Leary's going to get alongside Adrian Burge. We're on board with Sam Gendy leading the way as they head to the first corner. Sam Gendy looking very strong into that turn one, and there's a little bit of rubbing between Burge and Leary. Anthony Hutchins is through safe and sound at a second position. No problem at all as they head for Wilson Hairpin for the first time. Burge looks to try and slingshot the long way round Hutchins, very nearly into the back of Gendy. Goodness me, that was close. And now they're going to knit their way through Wilson Hairpin. Is everybody going to get through safe and sound? Just about. All the way through the field. That was close, but just about manageable. Now they come up through to Palmer on the inside line. That's a brave move from Graham Rumsey to get on the inside line there of Oliver Robinson, who's had a very frenetic start. Robinson trying to move his way further forward, of course, as they all are. Plenty of rookies on the field here, as a lot of drivers are trying to work their way further forward and locking up under brakes. That is Nick Ledoyen getting a little bit trigger happy on the brakes into Agostini. And side by side a good little battle as Bryn Griffiths gets on the inside of Richard Wotton, and Wotton goes off. Wotton goes off the circuit there on the far side. He will recover that, hopefully. We're on board with Adrian Burge, looking back to Leary. So Burge looking a pretty good race on the horizon here for the BC Cars driver. And obviously a lot of cars in that particular fold here. It's one of the teams with plenty of machinery in the paddock. So obviously there's going to be a lot of interest in this one as they filter through out of Williams. That's going to be a brave run for the 24 to hold it round the outside. Just about hanging on in there without too much of a difficulty is Oliver Graham. Super fast in qualifying, the rookie. 6th position on the grid, but finding that racing in a crowd is very tough, particularly at Snetterton. Look, we're going to go 3 or 4 wide, possibly even 5 wide, down to the braking zone as Nick Ledoyen covers off the 74 there of Clive Chisnell. 2 drivers there really struggling. Who's that that's just overshot on the way through Nelson? That's the 31 of Bryn Griffiths. So Griffiths has dropped back quite a few places there, having missed his braking point out of Brundle and into Nelson, and it looks as though Graham is going to try and make his way up the inside. Oliver Graham, the 24, knitting his way through to the inside. Some magnificent bit of overtaking there on this first lap of the race, as up the inside comes Oliver Robinson to get through on the inside of the 45 of Graham Rumsey, and that's going to leave Alan Hawkins squeezed in the 722. Magnificent. Good defence from Burge. Still Gendy is pushing. Can he get the move done at Agostini? He's got a good draft out of Palmer. There's enough time, there's enough space, and Harry Dean is still charging. He'll want to try and seal the victory as early as possible. Here he goes, up into Agostini. He's going to commit to the move. Brake. Don't let the car drift too far wide. Burge will get it back. But that's nice from Gendy at Agostini. Beautifully done. But look how close Harry Dean is now. He's only about 6 car lengths back. So Gendy has got some hard work now from Adrian Burge. Now he's got to play the defensive role, having been the attacker. Out of Oggies. Back on the power once again up towards Williams. Harry Dean knows how close they are. He's not giving up. This is superb from Harry Dean. There he is in 3rd position. If this race had one more lap, maybe he'd get the win for certain, but he's going to run out of time, surely, from that distance. As they go down the Bentley Straight, up towards Brundle and Nelson, that doesn't take away anything from Harry Dean's drive. However, if these two get into the wars, then Harry Dean has picked up a famous last to first victory. Let's see how it goes. especially when you consider that he had an infringement in qualifying that meant he was underweight. Whoa, Gendy, hang on to that one. And Burge is right there now, diving for the lead in the inside of the bomb hole. He has to yield. I was going to say, Harry Dean had to start the race 10 seconds after everybody else due to the penalty he got from qualifying. But if these two guys keep squabbling, Dean's going to beat them both to the line. Through Coram, up to Murray's, and Harry Dean is right there. What if he outsprints them out of the final turn? He's got a good chance. He is going to try and beat Burge to the line at the very least. Can he get second place from this one? Burge is going to hold it, surely. Dean is going to get there. Gendy's going to get the win. Burge will be second, Dean third. But if there was one more lap, surely Harry Dean could have grabbed the victory. Fourth place for Nick Ledoyen, Oliver Robertson in fifth. Those five will go through to the A group then. From Leary, Chisnell, Hawkins, Mugglestone and Hayden. Fastest lap, who else but Harry Dean in 2 minutes 22.859. Taylor is 11th from Callum Greatrex. Graham is 13th from Pollard, Rumsey, Robinson and Such. Then Martin, Wootton, Bartlett. Dale Whiteman is the last man home because retirements for Griffiths, Moody, Hutchins and Jake Stiles failed to start.
Well, Sam, perfect start to the weekend. That was a really inspiring fight. Tell us about it.
So, yeah, ultimately I would have liked to have been in A group, but B group it was. Adrian, my teammate, qualified second behind me. We had a little bit of a battle plan that we'd work together, get our heads down, try and gap the rest of the field, and then we'd sort it out after that. And that's exactly what we did. He got past me a couple of times, I got him back, and the last couple of laps were proper elbows out.
Well, Adrian, the pace was good in that one from both of you. It was 50-50 as to who was going to win at one point.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good race. As I say, the battle plan was get our heads down, get a gap. We knew Harry would be on us by the end if we didn't really get our heads down and go. So we did. And then really the last 3 or 4 laps, it was a case of, okay, everything goes now. And I got Sam a couple of times. Sam got me back, but so we could see Harry closing in. So it was really a case of him doing a fantastic drive. But from our point of view, brilliant for the BC cars, 1-2 on the podium. The B race, we'll see how we go in the A's. And as I say, to BC, thank you very much. Perfect, lads. I mean, couldn't ask for better.
Well, Harry, I can only think of 2 words to say, and that's if only. You know, if only there was one more lap, you probably would have won that.
Yeah, perhaps so, but there wasn't one lap, and you know, it's one of them weekends that it's not really gone very well for me in qualifying. With the grid place penalty and the 10-second penalty on top, I had it all to do. So I wasn't expecting to win that race. I just needed to get into the top 5 to get into the A race.
Sam, not the best of starts to the weekend, but at least you're towards the front of Group B now.
Yeah, absolutely. We had our differential. I was in 3rd position yesterday and my differential exploded. So unfortunately in this tight racing it does put you in the B race, but I'm here with my mates, I'm having a good time. I'm going to win this race and I'm going to go top 10 in the A race. So that's what's happening. I'm
liking a confident man who knows what's going on. Have a good one.
I'm here to enjoy myself, I will. Thank you.
Cheers. So there you go, Sam Smith, determined. I'm going to win this one. Let's see what happens.
So we go into this second race of the weekend with a very confident Sam Smith trying to get himself back into the A group on the 3rd row of the grid alongside Ivan Leary, but he's got to pass Canning, Poles, Bessel and Cannon to get there. Then it's Clive Chisnell and Alan Hawkins on the 4th row. Mugglestone and Hayden find themselves rounding out the top 10 from Bill Taylor and Callum Greatrex. Oliver Graham wanting to move further forward again from Pollard, Rumsey and Robinson, Luke Souch, David Martin and then a couple of Richards, Wootton and Bartlett from Dale Whiteman, and then the 3 who retired in the first race yesterday, Bryn Griffiths, Jack Moody and Anthony Hutchins. And let's be fair, if Jack Moody and Anthony Hutchins are going to come near each other again in this one, they'll need to stay well clear. Jake Stiles hopefully will take up his position at the back of the grid for this one after failing to start race 1. So let's see if we'll have 25 cars on the grid this time here at Snetterton. And the engine revs will rise. Who's going to get to that first corner first? Will it be Canning or will it be Poles? Let's find out. Cracking start from Martin Canning. A beautiful getaway from Lewis Cannon as well. We're on board with Luke Souch. To our left, that is the 40 of David Martin. And coming through past us both is Richard Bartlett, trying to come through on the left side. And it looks to me as though Cannon might have got second position in there behind Martin Canning. We'll double check that as they come through. Riches a lot more slippery this time than it was yesterday. And obviously, with it being a little bit more damp, a little bit more greasy, that is the 4 of Bessel trying to come past Cannon into Wilson Hairpin. There's bits and pieces coming up, and there's a spin. That is the 40 of David Martin, I'm afraid. So Martin is facing the wrong way at Wilson. Looks as though it's just one of those moments. He should be able to get that back and keep racing. Sam Smith already up into 3rd position, though. The writing's on the wall. Sorry for the pun, but he's there in 3rd position. Make that 2nd place as he now charges his way past Lewis Cannon. And now Bessel is going to make the move into 3rd position as well. Or is it 2nd? Has he got Sam Smith as well? We'll double check as they go up towards Williams. But look, Hutchins is making his way through the field as well. So too is Jake Stiles. So the number 2 is there in position. Good to see Jake Stiles in this one. Luke Souch still battling away. To our left now, that is the recovering Bryn Griffiths, who retired in race 1 yesterday, you'll remember. But he is still battling away. And Luke Souch very much with cars in front of him, cars behind him, and cars all around him. So here come the leaders. Sam Smith in 2nd, Bessel is there in 3rd. And in 4th position, I'm not quite sure who it is at the moment. I didn't quite see. That is Clive Poles. And then it is Lewis Cannon. So Martin Canning is leading this race, but for how much longer? I think Sam Smith may have already got into the braking zone at Brundle. There he goes. Well, how about that? That is the Ayrton Senna lap, isn't it? From 5th to 1st. And then up the inside comes Bessel for 2nd place. Well, Sam Smith did say before this race a few minutes ago to me, I'm going to win this one. That's what's going to happen. Meanwhile, Canning is going to get a little bit of a challenge from Clive Poles. And somehow Martin Canning is still facing the right way out of the bomb hole. Incredible. And that has allowed 43 Lewis Cannon to come through. Cannon to the right of him, and Cannon's in front of him. Samuel Smith and Adam Bessel into turn 1. They're on the last lap now as they go through Riches, and Adam Bessel is giving some serious attention to Samuel Smith as they come down towards Wilson once again at the hairpin. Into the braking zone. Perfectly fine and dandy. If you're Adam Bessel, you're just making Sam Smith do all the hard work. This is terrific racing from both of them, and they know it. They are giving it absolutely everything they have at this point, and they've only got 2/3 of a lap to go to make it stick. They come up towards Agostini hairpin. Bessel is not close enough to throw it up the inside of Sam Smith yet, but this is about Sam Smith making a mistake and being pressured into overdriving the car as far as Bessel is concerned. But these two guys who are Group A material, and they know it. Sam Smith, of course, was the man in pole position at Brands after qualifying. That's overall pole position, not Group B pole. So great work there, and he's having a difficult weekend after a exploding drive shaft, he told us, in the first of the Group A races. Now he wants to win the first of the Group B races to get himself back into Group A. But Adam Bessel is going to push him all the way. Provided both of them stay on the road, they will both get through into the A race. So we'll find out if they've got what it takes to get there. Can they be patient with each other? Can they be calculating with each other? Will they risk blowing a race win on the potential to go through into the A group? Well, Bessel's having a look. This isn't just about the A group, though. It's about pride, and both men want to win. Bessel still all over the back of Samuel Smith as they come out of Nelson, up towards the bomb hole for the last time, and then on to Coram. This is where Bessel can really make this last couple of corners come to him. Into the inside line, has a bit of a look. But Sam Smith is not going to lose the place through Coram. Into the final chicane. We may have something, however. But Sam Smith is very strong in these final couple of corners. It's up to Bessel now to get a better line off the turn. And I think he has. But is he going to run out of space down the straight? They are going to go down the road once more. And the checkered flag is going to be out. And it's going to go right to the wire. Oh, so close. But it's Samuel Smith who wins it in the end from Adam Bessel in 2nd position. Terrific stuff. 3rd place is going to be Martin Canning. He will get that 3rd place finish he's after. And then across the line, it is Clive Poles in 4th position in front of Lewis Cannon. And those 5 will go through into the A group. Then it's William Hayden from Clive Chisnell. Jake Stiles recovers beautifully to 8th place in front of Ivan Leary and Alan Hawkins. Fastest lap of the race, Adam Bessel in a 2:22.2. Matthew Pollard and Bryn Griffiths. They'll next from Charles Mugglestone and Jack Moody, Anthony Hutchins, Bill Taylor, Oliver Graham, Bruce Robinson, Luke Souch and Callum Greatrex round out the top 20. Then it's Martin, Rumsey, Whiteman and Bartlett, with Wootton retiring after that brake failure at Agostini.
Sam Smith, how about that? You did say going into it that that was my victory and that's what's happening.
Yeah, do you know what, the weekend I've had, I just wanted a trophy. I wanted to win it. Adam's a very good driver and he's come back into the Mark 1s this year. He's got a good car, he's a good driver, so I knew he'd be on my bumper. I was going to win that race come hell or high water, so yeah.
Well, Adam, second position, battling away with the man in the moment, Sam Smith, but that was very nearly a race win for you.
Yeah, I don't know how close it was at the end, but it was probably a couple of attempts, wasn't it, in between? I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, I'm happy with that.
Well, Martin, third position. I mean, any one of you could have had that, but what a way to battle it.
It was a good race, and after 2 years of not racing and, you know, coming back in a car that was lent, and the Blink boys have set it up, it's perfect, so really, really enjoyed that.
Although it's a little bit brighter than it was, there is definitely the threat of rain in the air, so this last race could be an interesting one. Paul Tucker and Oliver Robinson from the front row, Adrian Burge, Sam Gendy and John Langridge through from the A group, now here in the B. William Hayden alongside Langridge on the third row, from Chisnell, Styles, Leary and Hawkins. Then it's Matthew Pollard and Bryn Griffiths from Charles Mugglestone and Jack Moody, Anthony Hutchins and Bill Taylor, Oliver Graham and Bruce Robinson, Luke Souch, Callum Greatrex, David Martin, Graham Rumsey, and then the final three, Dale Whiteman, Richard Bartlett and Richard Wootton in the 3 car, who we hope is going to be able to take up the grid after that brake failure in the second race where he clattered into the side of another competitor. Looks like both of them are going to be taking further part in the race. It was Callum Greatrex who came off at second best in that one. Hopefully it will be a much better race for the pair of them. On the grid from Luke Souch in car. We're going to see if he gets a good start from his position. It's going to be Tucker versus Robinson for the first corner. What a launch from Tucker as they charge forward. And it's getting very tight in between. We're on board with Gendy. That's Robinson that we've got past. Langridge is having an absolute stormer of a start. But be careful because we've got Adrian Burge to the other side of us. Going right round the outside. Gendy is keeping his foot planted. And as they go through that first couple of corners, Jake Stiles very nearly gets spun around in the gaggle. He was lucky to get away with that one. That was pretty scary. So really exciting stuff as Tucker leads it. Gendy in second place. Burge looks like he's come through in third position. So a really exciting start to this race as the 45 goes to battle early. That's Graham Rumsey having a little bit of a tussle there with Luke Souch. So great racing in this early stages here of the last race of the weekend here at Snetterton. Every single driver wanting to go out of here on a high. And they will be pushing very hard indeed to make sure they do so. Several drivers trying to charge their way forward as they go into Agostini. And some good battles as they come through. Trying to knit one, pearl one as Callum Greatrex gets on the inside of Bryn Griffiths there. So great progress already made from Greatrex to get himself further up the field. He, of course, has seen Jason Greatrex get a podium and very nearly a victory in the earlier races. So let's see if he's going to get one of his own today. Luke Souch in the 291, just charging after the braking zone through to Oggies. He can gain a good couple of positions on this first lap, and he knows it. He just wants to get himself nicely lined up before he goes ugly early. So some really good battles, to be fair. There is Oliver Graham, running in behind the 44 of Bill Taylor, who's already had a bit of an exciting race of it this weekend. But Tucker is your leader, and he holds the early advantage. Gendy and Langridge having a terrific battle. So Langridge is moving his way forward. That is the 722 of Hawkins having to battle with Oliver Robinson at the moment, slicing his way around. Then it's Ivan Leary. The 74 is next. That is Hawkins. And then comes the number 2, Jake Stiles. Careful, the 74 on the inside there. Oh, sorry, that's Clive Chisnell, not Hawkins. Hawkins is a couple of cars further up the road, I should stress. But Clive Chisnell is now under pressure from Jake Stiles. Great to see him doing so well in recovery, Jake Stiles. He's having a great meeting to end these last 2 races, is Jake Stiles. And he's racing this year under the banner of the charity SUDEP. And he's doing an absolutely cracking job of raising awareness and keeping the sponsorship flowing as lots of people are supporting the charity. Over the line and down the stretch they come. Langridge in there in the 22 is the leader, Paul Tucker. Leary trying to come through on Hawkins. There's Robinson, there's Chisnell. Behind us should still be Jake Stiles, but not for much longer. He's going to charge his way further forward in the number 2. Terrific racing here. Absolutely spectacular battle. Contact! And that's all gone terribly wrong as Ivan Leary has been spun in the middle of Wilson. That was a move from Robinson on the inside. They ended up clattering into each other. And Robinson has benefited from that one. But now he's losing ground of his own as Hutchins has come through. On the second of the Group A races, really put the kibosh on his Group A weekend. So here he is, just getting an extended test session to a certain degree in the Bs, but he did have to fight his way to get into that position. Let's not take that away from him. He started P5. He did have to work hard in the first couple of laps to pick off the likes of Tucker, Robinson, Burge, Gendy. But here he is, leading the way, and a good run this is too from John Langridge, and he can comfort himself with the fact that he will leave here with some silverware if he stays where he is. He's got the entire length of the straight from the run of Agostini to Hamilton over your man in second place, Paul Tucker, into Oggies. And this has been an absolute textbook performance from John Langridge. It may not have been the most sensational battle we've had all weekend, but John Langridge proving to everybody why he is top quality material in the Mazda MX-5 Championship of 2018. When hasn't he been a star form? He has been absolutely brilliant in this championship, and mark my words, this confidence of winning this race at a canter and leaving the rest of the field to disappear, and they're not slouches behind him either, but the form and the manner in which he has taken command and possession of this race and just disappeared out in front is indicative of a man who is prepared to fight back and bounce back in fine style at Cadwell Park, and I'm sure he will get the chance to do so. Into the bomb hole for the last time, John Langridge on his own, out in front, and making it look easy peasy lemon squeezy. Frustrating, yes, but victorious regardless, as he comes out of Coram for the last time and into the braking zone for Murray's. He will have this race well and truly sewn up. There it is. He's signed, sealed. He's just got to deliver it now. In the words of Daniel Ricciardo, he's already licked the stamp. He's already sent it. Now he's taking special delivery of a very nice silver pot. Here he comes. Victory for John Langridge. Absolutely at a canter here at the third and final race at Snetterton. Here's your man in second place. Paul Tucker will come through to second place. A good job from him, a good result. And then it is going to be Burge in third position in front of Sam Gendy. And fifth across the line is going to be a very unfortunate Will Hayden. He had a great run for third position, just couldn't quite hang on to it in the end. Jack Moody in sixth place, Bill Taylor is seventh from Jake Stiles, Alan Hawkins and Anthony Hutchins. No major surprise that John Langridge is the fastest man of the race. 11th is Callum Greatrex ahead of Chisnell, Griffiths and Graham. Then Rumsey, Leary, Pollard, Muggleston, Martin and Bruce Robinson in the Gulf-coloured car. And then the last few home, Such, Bartlett and Whiteman, with Robinson out, Woodson failing to take the start after his brake failure in race 2. But Langridge is victorious.
Well, John, it might not have been necessarily the greatest weekend from your point of view, but to end on a win, you must be quite pleased.
Yeah, it's always nice to be standing around with silverware, isn't it? You know, after the problems in the second race, the AB Motorsport boys put the car back together really well, and it handled great.
And once you got into the lead, it just sort of, you disappeared. You just belted away.
Yeah, it was nothing's guaranteed in Mazda racing. So the first lap I had to sort of see where we were and how it was all going to feel with the car. And yeah, chipped away and got into the lead and just got my head down.
So a trio of fantastic races brings our BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championship Group B races to a close. There's a bit of time for some rest and relaxation until we get to Cadwell. Then it's going to get busy.